Samir, you're working on the cutting edge with the military right now. As civilians, we'd like to know what someone like you thinks about maybe 3 or 4 areas of life, everyday life, not the military, where you think drones could play a game-changing role in the future. We know about logistics, we know about the Amazons, and we know about the vaccine deliveries. Are there any other areas in our lives where you see a place for drones making a big difference?
Yeah, Shiv. I can start with many examples. The prime on my list will be communications. So what you guys all have noticed that, we are transitioning soon from the 4G to 5G network. I'll just start with this particular example. Now, anytime we jumpstart from one network to a futuristic network, the whole infrastructure has to be viably changed or modified to an extent which calls for a huge amount of investment. Now, this is mostly terrestrial, that is land-based. So the first thing is, how about taking your 4G and 5G networks into the sky and starting to beam them down? Now, this is a class of drones which are coming up called the high-altitude pseudo-satellites, which beam down internet, which beam down emergency response networks, which beam down private networks. Anybody can create a private network, which are destined to be your cell phone towers in the skies. Why? Simply because the economy of putting them up in the air is going to match very strategically and competitively with the cost of setting up a whole amount of infrastructure on the land. And this is where communication is going to be a big, big booster in the days ahead. This can be on any class of drone, but majorly it should support a payload and should be part of some network. That is where communications is heading towards. We as a company are involved with Hindustan Aeronautics in developing something called the HAPS. And one of the core areas which the government of India is going to focus on is creating emergency networks in hard-to-reach areas in India. So mountainous areas, a lot of you will complain you're not getting a good network in those particular areas or certain hard-to-reach areas. These will be supported by these drones, these futuristic cell phone towers in the skies. Japan is already doing it. There are companies like SoftBank and Aero Environment doing this. So this is one major area where you'll have. Future is also about smart cities. Now, again, if you can have a grid of drones operating over a city like Delhi, you start right from urban planning, infrastructure support, traffic management, going further, security, tourism and hospitality. Everything can be managed very effectively with a 24/7, 365 eye in the sky. The results are instantaneous, assisted by autonomy as well as artificial intelligence. One can update a lot of data which can be useful to react to a situation or, creating better infrastructure, better support, harnessing the true power of staying together as a much better race going forward. So this is another area, I think, which is going to come up. You already touched upon a lot of things like logistics, medicine delivery, et cetera, et cetera. Other areas include, hospitality and tourism in isolation. Going forward, even I'll say journalism is one part, or emergency response, disaster relief. These are something which are, some natural recourses to drones like these. And of course, when we go into specific areas, conservation is another one which is right now not looked after. But I think that is where things, being continuously monitored is going to finally help the state look after its very meager set of resources, which all of us have to employ. So drones are here to stay, as I said before. And it is on us, the onus is on us as users. And the ask is from the government to where they would want to plug in a system which can fly in the air as simple as, a Windows computer, which has a lot of apps. And that is what the fidelity of a drone can give you. It can carry a lot of payloads and harness the power of sharing this information using data to reduce the timelines to respond or create a better system for all of us to stay in.